Hello and welcome back to Eyes on the Road.
We stayed in Livingston, Louisiana and Jackson, Mississippi.
Let's check out what happened.
The drive to Louisiana was about 5 hours. The campground was nice for a quick stop and had a good amount of green grass.
We got a tour of the state capitol building of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. The floor was made of lava and there were lots of different kinds of marbles. We saw the House of Representatives and the Senate chambers. There was an explosion in the Senate in 1970 and there were still splinters of wood stuck in the ceiling. We also saw where former governor and United States Senator Huey Long was shot, including some of the bullet holes. We went all the way to the observation deck at the top of the building and got some nice views of the Mississippi River.
We went to Sherwood Po' Boy for lunch. Melina and Mom got shrimp po' boys and I got a crawfish one. They were good. On Tuesday, we went out for lunch at Chef Ron's Gumbo Stop. We had boudin balls, jambalaya, red beans and rice, crawfish etouffee, and chicken and sausage gumbo. It was very good and definitely something to get in Louisiana. After that, we headed to New Orleans. We parked in the French Quarter, then walked around. The historic French architecture, especially the balconies, was beautiful. We walked by the St. Louis Cathedral in Jackson Square and the Andrew Jackson statue as well. Then we went by the Mississippi River on our way to the Café du Mont. We got beignets and my mom got coffee. Beignets are like French powdered donuts and are so good. I'm very glad we got them here. Next, we quickly walked through the French market, then got a muffaletta. The sunset on the drive back was beautiful.
We got some food at Porky's before driving to Jackson, Mississippi.
On Friday, we went to Medgar and Marley Evers Home National Monument. Medgar was a civil rights activist and the NAACP's first field officer in Mississippi. The monument was pretty new. It had only been operating to the public as a monument for a year. It was well done and I myself learned a lot. Medgar was assassinated in his driveway in 1963. The house did have a lot of safety precautions though. The front door was on the side of the house by the driveway so you could get straight out of the car to the house. The kids' beds were under the windows and their bathtub was actually made of metal. Despite all this, Medgar's fatal bullet went through him, the first wall, through the house, a second wall, before hitting the refrigerator. If you looked, you could see all the way through the wall to the other side. All of us did Junior Ranger packets and got our badges. Then we quickly headed to the Mississippi Capitol for a tour. The eagle on top of the dome is coated in 3 ounces of gold leaf. Inside, they had a big tree up. It was a very pretty building. There is marble, but there is also a lot of scagliola. That is a special plaster that closely resembles marble. It was used in quite a few of the capitals because it was cheaper than marble. Now scagliola is much more expensive because there are only 2 companies in all of the United States that can make or fix it. We looked in the old Supreme Court, read some signs, then went up to the next floor. The view of the dome here is pretty. To get to either legislative room, you had to walk across these thick glass cubes. They are here so the stained glass below got light. They are cool because if you put your camera lens close to them, you can see the stained glass underneath. Then we went to the Senate and House of Representative chambers. In the House, there was some sort of ceremony going on. On the way down, we took the elevator, where at the bottom you can see some of the gears.
We went to Vicksburg National Military Park where the siege of Vicksburg took place. A month after the Union Army set siege to the Confederate-occupied town of Vicksburg, the Confederates finally surrendered. This happened at the same time the Battle of Gettysburg was won, making this a huge turning point in the Civil War. We drove around the battlefield and looked at the monuments. We stopped to take a look at a real Civil War ironclad called the USS Cairo, even though the museum was closed. We went to a Southern home-style restaurant for dinner. We went to the most incredible Christmas ballet by the Ballet Magnificat company. Ballet Magnificat is a Christian traveling ballet company, and this was one of the last shows on their Christmas tour. The dancing was so beautiful. I love the ballet. We went to dinner after the show.
There are so many cuisines in Louisiana and Mississippi, we just had to try them all. From the po' boys, gumbo, boudin, and cracklins to beignets and good old southern fried catfish, I thoroughly enjoyed all of it. Not sure the kids did, but it sure stretched their palate. Thankfully, the sites we went to weren't costly because we spent most of it on food. The exception was the ballet, which was the second part of the girls' Christmas present. It was the best ballet I've ever seen, and we all highly recommend it. I'll tell you, all the rangers at Medgar Evers' home, which was only open to the public for the first time this year, and one Californian ranger at Vicksburg were so super helpful and interactive, a huge improvement over the staff at the Tuskegee Airmen National Park. A smile and a give a darn go a long way. Last note, Timberlake was a beautiful campground on a reservoir run by the Water District, complete with swimming pool, tennis courts, playground activities, and golf cart parade. The cost was reasonable, but with over 300 spots, they're making a mint. More water districts should do this.
We learned a lot at Vicksburg.
See you next week on Islands on the Road.
Bye!